Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Ocean City, Maryland. Put your vacation days to good use in Ocean City, Maryland. Book now at ococean.com. Beautiful day here in Toronto. The roof will be open for the ball game. Our BGE Home game time temperature is 64 degrees. BGE Home, Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? And under the dome, take a look at the starting lineup for the Orioles, brought to you by Southwest. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Machado, Parmalee, Jones, Davis, Wieters, and Hardy. Flaherty, Pierce is the player who gets in because Jones has got a DH. Low, batting ninth. Hardy this month. Yeah, that's pretty good.
And let's take a look at Marco Estrada's pitch arsenal this season. Fastball 54% of the time. Not very overpowering. 88 to 91 with that pitch. Breaking ball. Curveball, seldom uses that pitch 13%, but the changeup really his bread and butter pitch 33% of the time. Nice differential from his fastball, 10 miles an hour slower. 14 games this year, but 8 starts. Spent some time in the bullpen, and the record 4-3. 4.24 earned run average for Estrada. Nice little roll. Has won his last 3 games. Of course, the run support has helped him tremendously. 62% fly ball rate, and that's why he gives up the home runs. 8 home runs this year, and last year actually 29 home runs in just 150 innings of work. So very susceptible to long ball. Orioles looking to take advantage of that.
This will be his second start against the Orioles this season, and here is Manny Machado looking for yet another leadoff home run. Is he 14 on the year, 34 RBIs? Pitch to him will be taken down low for a ball, and we are underway. First outing against the Orioles for Estrada. He went 5 innings, gave up 3 runs on 5 hits in that ball game, and did take the loss in it. And that's his record against the Orioles lifetime, 0-1. Pitch will be taken outside, and 2-0 count. So Estrada, 31-year-old veteran, has worked a lot out of the bullpen. This is his 9th start, his 15th overall appearance. 2-0 delivery, and that'll be a strike in the outside corner. Scott Kuhlbach talking with him before the game today, trying to preach even a little more patience than we've seen out of the Orioles to make Estrada throw strikes and try and get some walks and get more scoring opportunities in this series. Little ground ball off the end of the bat, way out in front of it. Reyes is there, throw to first will get him.
And that's a changeup the Orioles offense is going to see throughout this ball game. Take a look at the Blue Jays defense. Colabello over in left field, Pilar in center, Batista in right, Reyes and Goins up the middle, Donaldson and Smoke on the corners, and Navarro doing the catching this evening.
That'll bring up Parmalee to the plate, playing in right field again and hitting in the number 2 spot. Parmalee in his 4th game, 3 home runs, 3 RBIs, hitting at .417. They will put modified shift on against him, and the pitch will be there for a strike. Donaldson at third's not going to give up the bunt on Parmalee. You see the shortstop Reyes back almost behind second base. 0-1 delivery. Got it in there to him. That's at 89. 0-2. Obviously, as Mike said, you got a changeup pitcher, so when he throws a fastball at 89, 90, 91, it looks a lot faster sometimes to hitters because they see so many off-speed pitches. 0-2 delivery on the way, and Parmalee fouls her back.
Trying to climb the ladder right there. Now, what makes Estrada so effective is that arm speed. He keeps it very similar to his changeup. A great sell. Everybody thinking they're going to get a 4-seam fastball. And with the arm speed and the depth of the changeup, it's a lot of ground or a lot of outs, a lot of swing and misses.
Delivery on the way, and that's a great pitch. That's what he does. Tries to set you up for the off-speed breaking ball and got it in there.
Typically not his finishing pitch. Likes to start hitters off with the breaking ball, but here finishing up Parmalee with a nice curve. Kind of just a get-me-over pitch. Parmalee not expecting it.
C.B. Buckner rings him up in a hurry and with some emphasis, as you saw, the home plate umpire. Here is Adam Jones. As we said, Adam is DHing in the ball game. He's not played in 3, so he's going to have to get some pitches here in game conditions, which he has not had for the previous 3 ball games. He will take that one for a strike. Came out early, threw a little bit, took some early BP, then in taking regular batting practice, He did not get through the first round. He called the manager over, and Buck talked with him, and then he left the field. And the next thing we saw was a new lineup that took him out of center field, put Pierce into the lineup in left, moved Lowe from left to center, and made Jones the designated hitter. Otherwise, Paredes would have been in the lineup. Swing and a foul tip. Oh boy, C.B. Buckner got all of that.
A couple guys going down there. Adam Jones with the healthy cut, spinning himself into the ground on the foul ball. C.B. Buckner taking the brunt of the damage here. No padding on the arm. Catches it clean right over Navarro's shoulder. And that will leave a mark.
Saw the pain immediately for Buckner. The crew chief is at second base. That's Dale Scott. Dale's come in to have a word with his home plate umpire. Take a look at it, see if there's any structural damage.
It didn't sound good either.
No, it didn't. Adam Jones didn't look very good either on that fall.
No, he didn't.
He's all right. Jones is, and hopefully C.B. Buckner is too. So Adam continues to struggle. Buck Showalter is calling it a bone bruise on the throwing shoulder. Not quite sure exactly when that happened, or if there was one particular event, but it's bothered him enough to keep him out of the lineup. C.B. Buckner will hang in there. Navarro well aware of what that feels like.
At least they can laugh about it, right?
Only the catcher, though. Anybody else laughs are out of the game. The catcher can laugh because it's happened and will again. So Adam will stand back in. A 1-ball, 2-strike count on him. You see the numbers here in this ballpark. Adam Jones has had a big year against Toronto, hitting .375 with 3 home runs and 6 RBIs. The delivery to him will be taken outside. So Buck Showalter at least wanted to have that bat in the lineup against the 31-year-old right-hander. .243, that's the average against him. Left-handers .252, right-handers .234. That'll be foul back.
Big breaking ball there. Adam, another healthy cut. Looking up in the zone, taking a big rip. Well, Adam Jones back in the lineup after missing the last 3 games. And he had done some serious damage this month. Slow May getting right back on the horse and ripping the cover off the ball here in June.
2-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way. I don't know, but it seems to me something to watch, Mike. Tell me if I'm wrong on this, but those swings he's taking, the follow-through is not, to me, look like an Adam Jones natural follow-through. It's like he's trying to swing that shoulder around more because it hurts.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And he's corkscrewing himself a little bit.
I agree, trying to give more instead of holding himself true in the box. Just kind of, instead of wincing, just letting his whole body go with the swing.
That one will be foul back. And the count will stay at 3 balls and 2 strikes on Adam. As we had mentioned before, I mean, they've taken a look at this. They found no structural problem in that shoulder.
See the swing there. Pretty good swing. Very direct to the baseball. That one not as violent as the first 2.
3-2 pitch on the way again to Jones, and it's outside. He draws a walk. So at 2 down, the Orioles get a walk. That's 20 walks in 58 innings for Estrada.
Look at Marco Estrada, the monthly comparison in May. Had 5 starts, 502 earned run average. Pretty much all the numbers are same except the support for 9 innings. Offense not helping him out in the month of May. And you see the 0-3 record. Well, in June, 3 wins. Basically the same earned run average, 14 runs of support in his 9 innings of work. So that offense has turned it around and certainly helping Estrada in the win category. I'd like to lower that earned run average a little bit. The Orioles would like to obviously raise it up.
Here is Chris Davis. Shows body, had it open over there. Chris doing a lot more of that. Donaldson's not going to budge. He's in the shift and he's going to stay right back where he started. They'll let Davis have the bunt. Matt Wieters waiting on deck. There for Estrada, I mean, they've scored 31 runs in 3 games. Gee,
yeah,
that'll give you a win. 0-1 count with 2 down. Jones off first base, and the pitch taken away. According to the players, ground balls off this new surface put in this year are true and slower. And you can give yourself a little more leeway, get to a ball better. May have to move in a little bit though, huh?
Well, I think the balls still get to them as far as the balls like making it through the gaps. The old turf here in Toronto, a hard ground ball through the middle or getting by a shortstop would sometimes end up in left center gap, make it all the way to the wall. So in that regard, maybe a little bit slower as it makes its way to the outfield. But infield, ball still comes off the bat hot. It's going to get to the infielder pretty quick.
1 ball, 2 strike count with 2 down. Jones good lead. And that results in the throw over. Against Estrada this season, base stealers have done pretty well. They're 5 out of 7. They've got Navarro working behind the plate tonight. Rather than Martin, Navarro's had only 1 chance, 1 for 1, throwing out base stealers. 1 ball, 2 strike count delivered to Davis. That'll be up at 88. So they're forcing Estrada to throw some pitches here in the first inning. They won't mind that at all. Way over on that first base side in the stretch. 2-2 pitch on the way. Just miss.
Trying to be careful here to Chris Davis. Working the perimeter, nothing on the plate. And here the fastball. Riding well off. Navarro trying to suck it back in and get the call.
C.B. Buckner, home plate umpire, over the years has tended to favor the hitters a bit. Tight strike zone. And he walks him. So the Orioles, well, Scott Coolbaugh was hurt. He wanted more walks. He's got 2 here in the first inning.
Yeah, a couple nice at bats from Jones and Davis. Of course, they're coming in here and they're wanting to do some damage against this Blue Jays team, show them that their offense is hot as well. But you have to show your patience. And the 2 top hitters on base with walks.
One of the reasons Scott concerned about the walks is that while the Orioles and Toronto are tied for the best average with runners in scoring position in the majors at 304, the Orioles' opportunities are significantly less than Toronto's. Matt Wieters up. Wieters will take it away. Toronto has had 105 more chances with a runner in scoring position than the Orioles have, which has resulted in 32 more hits. And talking with Scott before the game today, said primary reason for that is just we don't draw many walks. 1-0 count, 2-1. And looking down to second, Jones gets back. Take a look at our Jeep inside the numbers.
Yeah, this is exactly what you're talking about. Blue Jays 304 batting average with runners in scoring position, 578 opportunities. The Orioles tied in average, but only 473. Take a look down at the bottom. Runners in scoring position and 2 outs owes 276, and the Jays up to 295. So that's pretty impressive. But now the Blue Jays 221 walks and the Orioles 163.
That'll go to second base. Going Zaire makes the play, and that's that. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 are left on base. The Orioles have Mike Wright, 25-year-old right-hander, ready to rock tonight. these important ball games, and Oriole fans taking the opportunity to be here as part of that. Take a look at the starting lineup. Powerful one for Toronto: Reyes, Donaldson, Bautista, Encarnacion, Smoke, Colabello, Navarro, Pilar, and Goins. For Josh Donaldson, Triple Crown candidate at this point, and a lot of it has come because of those numbers here at home.
And take a look at Mike Wright's pitch arsenal this season. The fastball 68% of the time. Seen him rush it up there in the high 90s. Last couple starts, though, it's tapered down. Breaking ball 21% of the time. The slider and the change, pretty good pitch, 11% of the time. Making 5 starts, 2-2 record. 4 completely different starts. First 2 didn't give up an earned run. Last 2 gave up 10 earned runs. The opponent's hitting .250 overall. Lefties, though, up to .309.
We'll face 4 lefties in this lineup, and here's one of them, switch hitter. Reyes, whose bat has come alive for Toronto with a really good number there at .285 on the season. Orioles pretty much straight away defensively against him. Reyes is hitting .340 from this side of the plate. Both of his home runs have been hit left-handed. Only a .182 when he's batting right-handed. So Reyes, the switch hitter, with speed still, and he'll put that one in the air to center field. Low is there. He'll come back in on it, and Reyes is up.
Yeah, going to be important to keep the leadoff man off base in this series. Take a look at the Orioles defense. Steve Pearce getting the start in left field. Low in center. Parmalee over in right. Hardy and Flaherty up the middle. Machado and Davis on the corners, and Matt Wieters behind the plate.
All right, gets the first out. That'll bring Donaldson up. What a season. 307, 17 homers, 46 RBIs. Third baseman, an enormous acquisition for the Toronto Blue Jays. He's just making a world of difference in this lineup. He's had 26 multi-hit games, second most in the league. Ranks first in total bases, second in extra bases. He's 5th in home runs, among the leaders. Slugging, OPS. It's not an offensive category, seemingly, that he's not in the top 10.
No, really doing it all, and his name now is MVP candidate this season. So off to a great start for the Blue Jays. Kind of tough sometimes to make the transition to a new team. They've taken him in, and he has produced. Now instantly become a team leader here with the Blue Jays. He and Russell Martin, the catcher, have made huge impacts since coming aboard.
Don Gibbons, the skipper of this ball club. They are 36-32. Orioles 34-32. And a swing and a miss. Good delivery, kept it down low and right. 2 ball, 2 strike count.
Take a look at Donaldson's power zone. Great coverage down and in, middle of the plate, up and away, and he can hit them to any part of the ballpark. He'll pull it, he'll hit it to right field. Good power from the bat of Donaldson.
And the delivery to him, and that one is going to be foul back. So Donaldson hangs tough on the fastball. For Mike Wright, this is his first appearance against Toronto. Coming up, of course, from Tidewater, AAA, where he was 4-0 with a 2.45 with Norfolk. He was the Jim Palmer Minor League Pitcher of the Year 2013 for the Orioles. And a swing and a miss. He getting to go upstairs and gets the K.
There you go. You got to like that. On the ladder here with the fastball, 92 miles an hour. Donaldson thinks he can get there. A little extra life at the top. Mike Wright. Big second out.
That will bring up Bautista. Bautista, 13 homers, 43 RBIs. He's also second in the American League in walks. He'll take the breaking ball, and a good one that is in there for a strike. He started out very slowly at the plate. He hit a .164 in May. Since then, he's hit .290. Oh boy. And now there's a warning. Now this all goes back to the continuing controversy involving Bautista, O'Day, Delman Young, and Buckner and this umpiring crew clearly know. And I think they're saying he got hit by a pitch and they want him to go to first. And he doesn't want to go.
Yeah, I guess it caught his jersey a little bit.
Gibbons is coming out. John.
Take a look. The inside fastball. Might have brushed the jersey. And immediately looking out at Mike Wright. You got to be able to pitch inside. I mean, Mike Wright.
Gibbons has been thrown out of the ball game.
Gibbons arguing about the warning. How can you give a warning here in the first inning? And that's what he's upset about, because he wants his pitchers to be able to throw inside as well.
So the warning issued to both sides. It was 2013. Darren O'Day had words with Bautista after he struck him out. Bautista then would come up against O'Day the following game and would hit a home run. Then we'd have one thrown by Garcia behind his back. His answer, a home run, flipped it, put it out of play, and made sure the Orioles knew about it, looking over at the bench. Then he and Adam Jones had some conversations, some words, and that's just gone on and on. 2013 it started, it's continued this year. And I don't know why Gibbons got thrown out. Obviously said something there. This is where you go back to. See, Bautista struck him out. They had a conversation. It lived on. Bautista hit a home run and let O'Day know it as he came around. See, chirping, gave him the fingers. Then the next time he gets hit by O'Day, and then he gets another home run. And that's the way this thing has kind of gone back and forth. And it didn't take long to get it on here. Gibbons will leave. He didn't last very long in this one. DeMarlo Hale, former Orioles third base coach, will take over as the manager of the ball club. Gibby's not going to be happy about that.
No, you know, I think in some ways you kind of expect it, because these teams have had a history now. Adam Jones has been hit just as many times as Bautista. They've gone over or after each other past few seasons, but both teams playing such good baseball. You'd like them to just say, hey, let's lace up our spikes and play hardball. And this throwing at guys, let's just play the game and see who the better is in this 3-game series.
So Bautista's hit by a pitch. Wright took a couple of tosses there while all that was going on. Here's Encarnacion, and he was trying to respond with a home run of his own right there. Encarnacion, the designated hitter for the ball club, in and out of the lineup because of injuries this season. He's hit only 171 against the Orioles this year, but he's had 4 home runs and 7 RBIs against them. 2 down, runner at first base. Bautista will dig back in. And the fans obviously into it. They'll be responding to everything remotely inside the hitters.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate for Mike Wright as well, because he needs to be able to pitch in to this Blue Jays offense. I mean, they are covering pitches that are left up and out over the plate. You got to back them off, move their feet a little bit.
All right, Encarnacion drills it. That's in the gap. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Bautista's going to make the big turn. He'll be waved on by Rivera. Chance for a relay throw to the plate. It'll come too late. Encarnacion a double RBI, and the Jays are on top.
Encarnacion splitting the outfielders here, getting on top of a high pitch. David Lowe trying to cut it off. Gets by him, and Bautista runs pretty well. Got it going right now. Able to score all the way from first base after getting hit by the pitch. Lowe flagging it down. You get it in the hands of J.J. Hardy, you might have a chance, but a little bit of overthrow. Catching Flaherty on the end. Too much time there.
39 RBIs, and we just got done showing you this is where the Jays make hay. I mean, that 295 average with runners in scoring position and 2 down is phenomenal. I mean, that is just phenomenal. They get a run here with a runner from first base. Now they get one at second. And here's Smoke. He's fooled by the off-speed delivery and had him way out in front of it. Another power hitter, of course, added to this lineup. Only 5 home runs, 20 RBIs for Smoke. Another switch hitter. He is hitting .247 from this side. Almost all of his at-bats have been left-handed. 4 of the 5 home runs hit from this side of the plate.
Another good on-base percentage. So this Blue Jays team, not only that power potential, but they're getting on base. And that's a big reason why they're putting up putting so many runs on the board.
They are first in both categories, slugging and on base percentage in the American League. That will be taken down low for a ball. Take a look at our Express Care stat, a LifeBridge health partner. For locations, visit whywaitinther.com.
Yeah, this is that Blue Jays offense leading in numbers, runs scored first, RBI, slugging percentage, on base percentage, homers at second, but incredible offensive team.
Smoke goes down the line. This is going to be a long run. Steve Pearce can't get to it. It's a ground rule double and another run in. Smoke delivers, and 2-0 Toronto.
They're trying to slow this team down any way you can. Fortunate hit by pitch with 2 outs really sparking this inning, and Smoke cutting the changeup down the left field line. Get some altitude, but Pearce filling up that gap. It's the turf and up and over the wall for the ground rule double. Another run scored.
21 RBIs for Justin Smoke. Both runs coming with 2 down. Colabello up, 7-game hit streak for Toronto's left fielder. Pitch by Wright, and that'll be taken inside for a ball. Since May 5, when he was called up, he's been first in the American League in average with balls put in play. That's why he's got that amazing 342 number. Done a great job for them. He's 4 for 12 against the Orioles this year. 1-0 count. Delivery by Wright. Breaking ball is going to miss outside, and he'll fall behind 2-0.
Colabello can hit. He hit with the Minnesota Twins. They called him up and pretty much did the same thing he's doing with the Blue Jays. But the Twins put him on, or let him go, put him on the waiver wire, and the Blue Jays picked him up in the offseason. And here he is, producing, just fitting in nicely with this offense.
Good lead at second base for Smoke. Orioles not holding. Colabello will take the pitch, and it's going to miss inside. And Wright falls behind 3-0 and shows a little frustration as he gets the ball back on the mound. There's DeMarlo Hale, bench coach, now managing with Gibbons thrown out here in the first inning. Gibbons won't be far away, though. He'll be down that runway. 3-0. See if he's got a green light here. And didn't need one. Up and in. This is all coming after they were 2 down. Reyes flied out. Donaldson struck out. And then came Bautista, hit by a pitch, double Encarnacion, double Smoke, and a walk. And that'll bring Dave Wallace out to the mound.
Yeah, the game kind of sped up a little bit here. So Dave Wallace, Orioles pitching coach, out to slow him down a little. Get back in the strike zone. Saw in his last start, ended up having 3 walks in a row and ended up leave the game. So trying to get that command. What Dave Wallace does not want him to fall into that trap again where he's trying too hard and cannot find the zone. Be free and easy. Attack this team.
Navarro coming up. He is doing the catching for this ball game. It's his 16th game. Switch hitter. Not a lot of at bats, obviously. Only 49 total on the season. Martin's doing the work behind the plate and having a great year both behind it and at it. And the Orioles will see him in the series. So Deano Navarro, runners on at first and second base with 2 down. Navarro, in the limited chances he's had this year, 1 for 11 in these situations. Runners off first and second base. Wright's delivery, and that's going to be outside for a ball. Wright's number coming into this game very low. Opponent batting average with runners in scoring position only 167. The American League average starting the day 254 for pitchers. Here's the 1-0 delivery on the way. Navarro will take it, and that is there for a strike.
Big fastball there. Got to stay down with the heater. Make that change up a little bit better as well. Saw a couple good ones here in the first inning. But the fastball elevated can cause problems. Encarnacion got on the high fastball for the double.
And that one put up in the air, left center field. It'll come back to Pearson left. And he's got it. So that will retire the side, but a couple of runs in. They do it on 2 hits and 2 are left on. Jays take the early lead. What happened between innings as Matt Wieters started leaving the field, watching with C.B. Buckner, home plate umpire. Little conversation, don't know what it was about, perhaps about throwing inside and Bautista getting hit. Then it started heating up, and Buck Showalter decided, I better get out there.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Matt Wieters will say we need the inside part of the plate. It just brushed his shirt. You can't issue warnings this early in a ball game, especially to their young pitcher Mike Wright. He's got to be able to pitch inside, establish the inside corner, and if a couple slide in and a hitter moves his feet, that's what baseball is all about. Way too early in the ball game, he just dictated possibly what this series is going to be about in the first inning.
And to the umpiring crew, I would suspect Major League Baseball had a discussion with them and put them on notice.
Possible.
About what had gone on. Not saying it was the right thing to do. I agree with you, Mike. You got to let some of that go. But they were alert to it, and so it didn't take much to trigger the event of getting Givens thrown out and Bautista hit and flare up a few tempers here. Here's J.J. Hardy. Hardy's got the 11-game hit streak coming in, up to 250 on the season. Hot bat for the Orioles. Estrada, off-speed delivery, foul back, and it's a hit streak in which he's hitting .390. That's a great number. Scoring runs 7, driving them in 5, and getting on base. 0-2 delivery to Hardy, a bouncer out in front. That'll go off Navarro and wide.
Yeah, it's nice to see J.J. Hardy putting together a good hitting streak. Took him a little while to get his legs underneath him, get that rhythm and timing back after starting the year on the disabled list. He's a little taller right now, so making some adjustments. Maybe just a little better ability to see the ball and drop the bat head on it, almost like a little game of pepper, you know, standing up there and just playing pepper, because he's driven some balls right back through the middle, using the whole field.
2-2 delivery to him here, and Hardy will take it outside 3-2. So Estrada started out well against him and now takes it full. Estrada, 34 home runs in his last 26 starts going back to last year. This is the ballpark that'll give him up. That ball in the air to center field. Not there, though. Villar's back, and he's got it. And Hardy retired on a 3-2. Speaking of home runs, our Maryland Lottery contestant of the game, Montra Brown for Baltimore, has won $500 for being selected to get $500 more for every Orioles home run hit tonight. Play baseball box scratch-offs, win up to $50,000, or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/baseball. Ryan Flaherty, the start at second base for the Orioles. Will take the pitch down low. Estrada's retired 63% of leadoff batters faced this year. It's not a particularly good number. You want to be up around 70 if you're a starting pitcher. Shift on against him in the infield, and that pitch will miss outside, and Estrada's working from behind here on hitters in the first 2 innings.
Estrada seems to be settling into the starting role. Now came up and had been a starting pitcher when the Blue Jays picked him up this offseason. Basically a swap for Adam Lind, who went over to the Brewers. He was a starter with the Brewers, but they didn't have a spot for him in the rotation here. They had the young lefty who didn't quite pan out, so Estrada slid back into the rotation. He's still trying to get that good feel and get deeper in ball games. We saw his earned run average a little higher than he's used to.
As a starter in his career, he's 523 and 23 with an ERA of 4.24. Flaherty will fight it off. That one riding in on him. And the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The roof open here. It's going to be a cool night. Temperature is going to be down a bit tonight in the probably the upper 50s in the city. 64 when we started. 2-2 delivery on the way. Flaherty again fights it off into the seats. 37 pitches thrown already. There you get the view up through the top. And just one of 8 billion condominium units in Toronto. With 8 billion more being built. I have never seen a city with so much construction going on. 2-2 delivery. And it seems like it's been that way for the last 10 years.
It really does.
It just never stops. 3 ball, 2 strike count. Flaherty has taken it to at least 8 pitches in this at bat. Estrada's piling up those pitches early. 3-2 delivery on the way, and he draws the walk out of it. So the Orioles already have 3 walks in the ball game. This one comes with 1 down. Orioles return home next Friday to begin a 3-game weekend series with the Indians. That night, don't miss the season's next fireworks night. Stay after the game. Birdland skies lighting up with a great fireworks display. Celebrate summer, family and friends at the yard. For tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. So here's the man who wasn't supposed to be playing tonight. Generally, those players have really good nights. Steve Pearce.
Kind of expect him to because swinging the bat pretty well in the month of June.
Yep.
Well, he had some struggles. He was pressing first couple months. Finally got his batting average up over the 200 mark. You see there 210. But still good power. 6 homers, 22 RBI for Steve Pearce.
Just hasn't played very much.
Has not recently.
0-1 delivery to him. Ball put up in the air to right field. It's going to be a long run. Bautista coming. Second baseman Goings goes out to play it. Bautista was not going to get there. Pearce is retired.
Well, that's when the middle infielder has that good court awareness. Know where your outfielder is. Know what might not get there. Goins has been doing a nice job for this Blue Jays team defensively. Very sure-handed. Not only make the routine play, but the great play as well. Showing his range on the high pop.
So 2 down. Flaherty remains at first base. And David Lowe up. Lowe's got a modest 3-game hit streak coming in. As I always say, no hit streak to a hitter is modest. It's a hit streak.
Get that right.
You take them all.
David Lowe's looked pretty good, getting more opportunities here recently with Adam Jones on the shelf.
That is foul back against Estrada. He's gone 1 for 2. He was going to play in left field. Gets moved to center with Adam Jones coming up. Adam.
See, that's why Buck Showalter wants Adam Jones in the field, man.
Learning to become a chiropractor on Jonathan's scope and anybody else he can get near to over there. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way, and that is there for a strike. And the counts at 1-2. Navarro looking over into the dugout for an extended discussion with somebody over there, the catcher, about what the next pitch was going to be. 1-2, 2 down. And Lowe will take that one up high. Pete Walker is their pitching coach for this Jays staff. Marlo Hale, the bench coach, but now he's managing. Givens thrown out in the first inning. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Short lead at first. And inside out swing, foul back.
Nice job keeping the at-bat alive by David Lowe. Very good changeup. It is tough when it's down in the zone, and you see the separation in speed from his change and his fastball, about 10 miles an hour.
Two coming again. Strada's delivery to Lowe, inside out, third base. Donaldson makes the play. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one left on base. Bottom of the second coming from Rogers Center in Toronto. Tonight's game brought to you by Miller Lite. So things have heated up early. It was a big series anyway, and didn't take long for that to be shown by the players and managers. A 2-0 lead. Bottom half of the second inning. Pilar, Goins, and Reyes will be due up 8, 9, and 1 in the order. 3-game hit streak for the center fielder. 278 against the Orioles this year with a home run. Breaking ball will be taken outside. He's batting 8th, but he's a hot bat. He's got the second highest batting average in the league this month, and the second most runs batted in this month.
Yeah, he's been playing some great baseball for the Blue Jays. Playing unbelievable defense. Seems like every night you see him on the highlight film, taking balls away and climbing the wall, but playing aggressively as well. I mean, sliding in, breaking up double plays, getting his hits.
He's 6 for his last 9 during this 3-game hit streak he's got. Kevin Pillar. Orioles play it fairly deep in the outfield, a bit towards right. 1-2 delivery, and that's where he lifts it. Not deep. Flaherty going out. Called off Parmalee, who will make the catch. Let's take a look at the American Standard Who's Hot, Who's Not. Celebrate the season with the American Standard All-Star event. Visit MidAtlanticComfort.com for amazing rebate and financing opportunities.
Chris Davis has been hot in his whole career versus Toronto. 301, 26 homers, 63 RBI. Ryan Goins, not so hot. This month, just 196, a 245 on base percentage.
And Goins coming to the plate. We would know it by his numbers against the Orioles this year. 389 with 3 RBIs against the Orioles. That's pretty much all that 232 average.
You're right.
Wright's delivery to him, and that'll be taken up high. In at third base, Manny Machado. Goins has some speed. Trying to take away the bunt. Move the defense around a little depending on the count. 2-0 pitch to him. He'll take it. It's in there.
Well, I know Ryan Goins, still a young player. His opportunities the last couple years, and DeMarlo Hale, he's been riding him now for the last 2 years. Keep the ball out of the air. This kid needs to hit him hard on the ground, use the turf to his advantage. can already catch the ball. I mean, he's a big league infielder for sure. You'd love to see him produce a little bit more with the bat. Take advantage of the turf.
Gowens with a 3-ball 1-strike count. Showed bunt. That's interesting. The Orioles adjusted on each pitch. Manny Machado had moved over, so he squared around on that, but he'll end up with a walk in any event. Let's take a look at our Major League Notebook on the East wins page. The Yankees are hot again. They've won 9 out of 10 at the stadium, outscoring opponents 66-26. The Rays, they've got a season high 8 games over 500. They've won 6 of their last 7. And Dustin Pedroia set out Thursday. Inflammation left knee. He's now missed 2 of the last 3 games. They're hoping no DL is necessary in Boston.
Red Sox don't need that.
Reyes step off by right. Oriole right-hander surrendered a couple of walks. Seemingly almost everybody except Boston got hot in the American League East at the same time. 1 down, and Reyes will take the pitch up high. Even with the runner on, Manny Machado forced in it, not forced in, but playing in. Not wanting to give him that chance for an infield bunt single.
Yeah, Reyes will definitely take advantage of a defense. Don't forget about him. Move back a little bit. He will not hesitate to lay one down.
And it'll come back. No play. As in Philadelphia, this is the ballpark where down the lines you get some pretty good room, especially between first and home plate in foul territory. You see all that area where you can feel balls. That's a generous area. Now, as you get down the line, obviously it narrows out, but that's pretty good room.
That is. Take away from players' batting average for sure. A little frustrating when you hit a foul ball. You expect it to go up in the stands and catcher or third baseman run over there and make a play on it.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Runner on first. Pitch will be up high. And the count of 2-1 on the fastball. And both these pitchers are putting a pitch count up. It's going to have both managers thinking about the bullpen early in this game, about what they're going to do. 2-1. Very short lead. Goins at first. 2-1 delivery, and that'll be foul back.
Yeah, both bullpens, Blue Jays and the Orioles, have been pitching very well lately. And Blue Jays pretty happy that it's finally started to stabilize. It wasn't very good at the beginning of the year. Got a little better in May. This month, they're really starting to work on all cylinders. They've had to make some moves up and down. They're all working well, throwing the ball well.
2-2 delivery on the way, and that's going to be up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. Making the turn. Goins will go to third. Off the carpet. First and third with 1 out.
See, still on the ground ball on a turf field. Still will find its way through. The big bounce. Second hop. Like a super ball, scooting past the diving Ryan Flaherty. Goins easily into third base, uncontested. Reyes picking up the base hit.
So now with 1 away, lots of concerns for Wright. He's got to face Donaldson. He's got Reyes over there at first base with big time speed. Wieters has had only a couple of chances, 0 for 2 at throwing out base stealers since coming back. Bag will be Flaherty's to cover if Reyes takes off. Donaldson, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Josh Donaldson, first and third, 1 out. Missed inside. And a 1-0 count.
Good fastball there. Just missing on the inside corner. He still has to stay in. You really do. I mean, you cannot have this team just looking out over, taking the whole outer third to themselves. You have to establish the inside corner.
And even with a warning issued, Mike, it doesn't mean you can't hit a batter. It's up to the home plate umpire to determine whether he thinks you were intentionally doing it.
Right.
And it just makes that call more likely than not if it really gets in. That's what happens with a warning. 2-0 count. Runners off first and third, again working behind Toronto hitters. And upstairs, that's where he got him the first time in a swinging strike, and he gets the first strike of this at bat. Same pitch.
Right back to the top of the zone. Donaldson eyes getting big. 2-0 count. He lets it fly, but it's a little too big.
2 ball, 1 strike count. Right, looking for a ground ball here. Put that double play and out of the inning. Here's the 2-1 delivery to him, and that's going to miss outside. Donaldson hitting .333 with runners in scoring position. Part of this big offensive attack put up by Toronto. They have 2 runs on 3 hits so far. 2 on here, 1 away in the second. And you saw Bautista waiting on deck. 3-1 delivery on the way. Tremendous rip.
Boy, he is letting it fly. He's feeling good. Seeing the ball well. Recognizing the pitch early. He sees it coming into his zone. Not getting cheated right now.
Major League .268 career hitter coming into this season. Coming over from Oakland. 3-2 pitch on the way. Runner goes. It is outside. They're loaded for Bautista. Oh, the theater of baseball. They Wallace back to the mound. That's 3 walks by Mike Wright.
Another one of those visits just to try to slow him down a little. I mean, this is, like you said, the drama of baseball. While a young pitcher can get a little worked up in these type of situations. A little breather. Listen to your veteran catcher, experienced Major League pitching coach, Tyler Wilson, down in the Orioles pen. Early for him to get loose. Mike Wright would like to make the right pitch. That Bautista hits one on the ground. The Orioles defense will roll one up and get out of this inning.
Here's what happened in the first at bat. Bautista taking a pitch inside that just barely caught the jersey. It did, but just barely. Then the warning was issued to both benches about throwing in hitters. C.B. Buckner coming up. You see the stare out by Bautista. And then he went down to first and had some chit chat with the Oriole bench again. Bases loaded, 1 out. We're only in the second inning. All kinds of activity in this game of every sort. Bautista will take the pitch down low for a ball. You know what the fans are thinking about.
And Bautista as well. I mean, very rarely do you see him just get geared up and end up being off balance. He wanted to hit that first pitch. His body was already going.
1 for 5 with the bases loaded this year. Pitch is outside. Wright's got nowhere to put him. I mean, Buck Showalter has walked in his career as a manager. Great hitters with the bases loaded, but I don't think that's what's going on here.
I don't think so either.
2-0 count. Boy, Bautista will be looking right here for one to rip. 2-0 delivery, not even close. I mean, Wright is not close on these pitches. And the count goes 3-0. And you know he's got a green light.
Absolutely.
So if you just float one into the strike zone, he's going to be waiting.
Yeah, it's still got to be a quality pitch. Just about everybody in this Blue Jays lineup, green light 3-0.
Delivered to Bautista. Walked in a run. Goins reached on a walk. Scores. That's 4 walks, and that's it for Wright. So the 25-year-old has a really tough start here in Toronto. Never got into the ballgame, really. Credit Bautista with the RBI and the bases loaded walk. Bases are still loaded and only 1 away.
call to the bullpen. Mike Wright showing the frustration, taking it out on the Orioles bench there. Yeah, it was a very disappointing start for Mike Wright. That first inning after hitting Batista, and then the warning led to some not so good things for Mike Wright. Now it's time for our AT&T call to the bullpen. AT&T, proud partner of the Baltimore Orioles. AT&T mobilizing your world. Tyler Wilson now and down to the Orioles pen. Fastball 68%, breaking ball 24%, the change 8%.
Encarnacion with the bases loaded and one out.
Getting thrown right into the fire this season. Opponents hitting 289. Righties way down to 176. Lefties up to 357. Pretty equal distribution. Ground ball, fly ball percentage.
Sacks full. Delivery on the way. Encarnacion takes it. He too wants to crank. He has only had one at bat this year with the bases loaded. He's gone 0 for 1. I mean, Toronto couldn't have set this up any better offensively than what they've done here. I mean, you get your number 9 man on, top of the order Reyes on, then Donaldson. Now you got the middle with these sluggers with the sacks full. 2-0 count. A 3-0 lead for Toronto. Delivery on the way. That's going to be inside. Wow. 3-0.
I'll tell you, if you're going to get beat by getting hit. Don't give up the walks. You got to challenge this team. You've got to stay aggressive. All over the plate, kind of spray painting your pitches all over the perimeter.
Encarnacion will foul it off on the 3-0. For Tyler Wilson, he last worked against the Yankees on the 14th, working the longest outing by a reliever this year for the Orioles, 3 1/3 innings. He's been with the team 3 times. Recall from Norfolk on June 14 the last time. Debut was in May, Major League debut, and he got a start on May 28th. His first Major League start, now out of the pen. 3-1 pitch on the way. Encarnacion takes it, and another bases loaded walk. And an RBI for him.
Yeah, walks definitely hurt against an offense like the Blue Jays. You got to be careful. I mean, still 4 runs. I know it's early in the ball game, but this team can explode, and they can put up big run innings, almost as good as anybody in the game. 26 times this year they've scored 4 or more runs in an inning. So you got to try to minimize the damage and hope that your offense can answer back.
4-0 lead. Bases remain loaded. Here's Justin Smoke. He will take it away. Runner stays. Wieters able to track it down.
Wilson throwing that 2-seam fastball. Wieters turning the glove over. Can't quite catch it cleanly, but nice job bouncing on the ball. The runner at third base.
Smoke had an RBI double his first time up. There have been 4 walks in this inning, 3 by Wright, 1 by Wilson. 2 have been with the bases loaded. 1-0 count. Smoke goes to the middle. Flaherty's got it. There's one. Hardy to first, and a big double play ground ball to get out of this inning. So only 2 runs will score. They do it on just 1 hit. 2 are left on base. Jays lead at 4-0. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And buy your local BMW centers. Rogers Center here in downtown Toronto, and right now the home club with the 4-0 lead. Only 3 hits. They've taken advantage of a 1-hit batter has scored, 1 walk has scored, and 2 RBIs on 2 bases loaded walks. So Marco Estrada, something to work with here, but he's been struggling trying to get pitches in the strike zone too. He has walked 3 and struck out 1. Manny Machado at the top of the order. He'll lead it off for the Orioles. Machado with the delivery, and that'll be taken outside for a ball. And Orioles look to pick up some more walks. That's what they need right now, some base runners. Manny in his last 12 games is hitting .417, 6 home runs, and 11 RBIs in those 12 games. Just a real hot bat. Call made on the strike, 1-1.
Yeah, Manny doing it all. Nice see him just show the bunt early. Been laying bunts down, stealing bases, hitting homers.
And he'll take that one down low. Estrada with a 2-ball 1-strike count. His pitch count up to 50 already. We're only in the 3rd inning. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and that's outside. Mercy.
It's good. Orioles offense has to stay this way. They have to stay patient, wait out the mistakes.
Got plenty of time in the ball game. 3-1 delivery on the way. Ooh. A strike called. Manny Machado will come back. That one didn't look very close.
No, it did not look close at all. Take a look at the pitch track here. Well off the plate. Did 6 or 8 inches. Navarro catching in the left-hander's batter's box.
So 3-2 delivery on the way, and the ball in the air to right near the seats and out of play. Bautista coming over. So the count will stay at 3-2.
Smart pitching. Why not go right back out there? And Manny has to protect a little bit. Keep the at-bat going.
3-2 count, second time, and that is outside. So that's the 4th walk from Estrada, and so far pitchers really struggling. You can celebrate summer at Oriole Park. Pick up the 15 Birdland Summer 6-pack any 6 remaining games. Enjoy savings up to 20% off the cost of single game tickets, and you build the plan around rivalry games, popular promotions like the bobblehead dates, t-shirt nights, fireworks. Your pick. Orioles.com/6-pack. Chris Parmelee up. Parmelee a strikeout victim his first time up. Fouls that one right straight back.
Parmelee not in between at all. Nice healthy cut there on the first pitch fastball. Great numbers since being called up. Be taken out of the lineup. 3 home runs, 4 RBIs, great batting average, and good defense too.
Great arm. 0-1 delivery on the way to him, and another swing and another foul ball. 0-2 count. Orioles have won 3 and lost 6 against the Jays so far. They play 19 games against the teams in the division. Orioles won the season series last year 11-8. 0-2 count. Runner off first. Pickoff play by Navarro, not in time.
Words out on Manning. Take a look at this. Highest stolen base percentage this year. Minimum 10 stolen base attempts. And Upton leading the way, but there's Manny Machado, 10 for 11, 90.9%. Pilar on the list, same, 10 for 11, and Reyes, 9 for 10 in his stolen bases.
And a swing and a miss, 79 on that one, and it dropped off the table.
Challenging with fastballs early in the count, right to the bread butter. This is when his changeup is at his best. Down at the bottom of the zone, gets him to swing through.
Bring Adam Jones to the plate. He doesn't get booed in many places. He does here in Toronto, and it's all about the past incidents with Bautista, and the discussions they had get highly publicized and shown on television, and that is the reason the fans react to him that way. One down, runner on at first base. Jones will chop that one foul. And an 0-1 count. Adam, here in this ballpark, been a .270 career hitter. He has 28 lifetime home runs against Toronto, and 13 of them have been hit here at Rogers Center. 3 of them this year. 0-1 count. Machado leaning.
Over the years, Orioles and Blue Jays, good competition in the home run, especially the heart of the order. Of course, Encarnacion and Batista hammering out the home runs. Jones and Davis.
Back by Adam Jones. There is no question he is favoring that right shoulder. That time he just kind of let it fall limp, put the bat in the other hand as it came across the plate.
Yeah. Buck's definitely keeping his eye on Adam Jones. I mean, I wouldn't think he'd be playing if he could risk doing any more damage, but after that swing, you can tell he's thinking about it.
0-2 count. Machado's got the good lead. Estrada. That one's going to be foul back. Marco Estrada struggling himself. Able to get outs, though. A couple of walks in the first inning, but with 2 down, then got Wieters to ground out. Another walk in the second inning. Got out of that one. Now he's walked the leadoff batter here in the third inning. Adam Jones, the Orioles DH for the ball game, 0-2. Runner not going, and the pitch will be taken up high.
Estrada's been effectively wild. The Orioles still haven't picked up a base hit off him. Well, they've had the base runners with the base on balls.
Infield playing him to pull. Nothing on that second base side. And that's going to miss outside. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Adam comes in with the 9th best average on the road. He's sitting .308 in road games. He and Jimmy Paredes are 9 and 10 in the American League in that department. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Jones will go after it, and he fouls another one back at 79 on that delivery.
Stayed back nicely on the change. Couple good rips on change-ups that Estrada's left elevated in the zone. There he gets the front foot down and then keeps the bat head through. The ball was headed to the right center gap.
2-2. Machado held by Smoke. Estrada's delivered to Jones in the air. Right field again heading to the seats, and again it will be out of play. A couple of balls, a couple of rows back down there. This will be the 8th pitch of the at bat for Adam Jones. Mike Wright left, an inning and a third, 4 runs, 3 hits, 4 walks, and 1 strikeout. The Orioles starter. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Machado's made no move to go. Not going here. Jones strikes out.
Work the at bat. Adam Jones smile on the end after just missing a couple change-ups. Estrada says, well, here's a fastball, 90 miles an hour, done messing around. You're either going to hit it out of the yard or I'm going to get you, and Estrada wins that one.
So there are 2 down, 2 strikeouts in the inning. Chris Davis drew a walk his first time up. Full shift on. Machado goes. Here's nothing. Navarro was going to make a throw. Reyes, who was moved around the shortstop, came over to cover. But Navarro never got a handle on it.
There goes Manny again. Getting a good jump. Straight steal there. Not even a glance in. A lot of teams wouldn't think that Manny would be running in that situation with Chris Davis up. Here's
an RBI opportunity now for Chris. And that one's going to be up and in. And again, working behind the hitter. Estrada with a 2-0 count. Davis, 259 in these situations on the year. Outfield deep, a little bit to right. There's that off-speed delivery again, that changeup.
Yeah, so tough to pick up. It's the straight change coming out of his hand just like a fastball. I mean, has the grip of the changeup, but it's a four-seam version, so you can't recognize any different type of spin.
Fastball's there. That's what we were talking about. That's a differentiation on the fastball changeup.
Yeah, so good. I mean, if a pitcher has a good arm speed and everything looks the same out of his hand, if he can get between 10 and 12 miles an hour on his changeup, it's going to be effective.
2-2 count. Runner off second base. Chris Davis is down. He can't move it. So Estrada records a strikeout. He strikes the side out in the third inning. It's 4-0 Toronto. Right now, as Chris Bryant, Jason Kipnis has extended his tonight, both at 14. Then come Hardy and George Springer of Houston at 11. The White Sox, a streak they want to get out of. They've been outscored 34-14 in a 7-game losing streak. They are home against Texas tonight. And the Astros, they're hot again. They've outscored opponents 43-16 with 14 home runs. They've got a 5-game win streak. They're on the road playing at Seattle tonight.
Astros don't stop coming, do they? Then they keep reaching down into the minor leagues and pulling up young superstars.
They sure are showing a very effective minor league system so far this year with real good players. Tyler Wilson on the mound for the Orioles, came on to get the final out. Double play ground ball in that second inning. Colabello up now. He drew a walk his first time up. Navarro and then Pilar. 6, 7, 8 in the lineup for Toronto. Bottom of the third inning. Orioles still without a hit. Toronto 4-3-0. Each team has left 4 on base in the ball game. Colabello backing out of the box momentarily. Wilson, a pretty quick worker. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and that'll be in the dirt outside, scooped by Wieters. Don't forget, we've got 2 day games coming up to wrap up this series Saturday, Sunday. Tomorrow, Kevin Gausman's back on the mound against Mark Burley. 12:30 O's Extra, 1 o'clock for the game. Sunday, Chris Tillman against Scott Copeland. 1-2 pitch. That's going to be taken inside. Games Saturday and Sunday on both Masson and WJZ. Scott Copeland for Sanchez for Sunday. Sanchez recovering with an arm problem, has not started throwing yet. John Gibbons, the manager of Toronto, said probably tomorrow he'll begin tossing the baseball again. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Fouled off the fist. John Gibbons is not available for us to show you. He has been thrown out of the ball game in the first inning. Saying something to C.B. Buckner on a play where his man was hit by the pitch and went to first, but he got thrown out.
Right. Yeah, he didn't like the fact that the warning was issued, so he doesn't have an opportunity to throw inside.
Here's DeMarlo Hale, bench coach, now managing. Ground ball foul outside of first. Now, generally, did you ever have a manager who got thrown out and left? Really went back into the clubhouse? Most of them stay right down there in the runway.
Only in the minor leagues they'd go and they wouldn't come back. Where the heck did the manager go? But no, in the big leagues, they're right there. I mean, you look around the corner and there's your manager. They got to be on top of everything.
2-ball, 2-strike count. That's a base hit. Rolling into foul territory. Farley's got a cannon. Here's the throw. Skips away. He's going to get another base. A double and an error.
Colabello staying hot. Saw the effects of the turf. Now, great piece of hitting. Fouled off some tough pitches and then went with the pitch, getting it by the diving Chris Davis, but the ball dies once it gets by him. Parmley's got to come up quickly. Nice throw, but gets tangled up with Colabello's legs as he comes in to second base. Hardy can't come down with him. He finds himself at third base.
Parmley will be charged with the error on the throw. That'll be his first error with the Orioles. The infield is drawn in. And here's Deanna Navarro. Pitch will be in there for a strike. Orioles have committed the fewest errors of any team in the American League. That'll be their 31st. 0-1 count. Orioles want to cut this off if they can. Colabello at third base. 0-1 pitch. Navarro takes it. That'll be inside.
In this situation, the Orioles infield brought in, but they're giving themselves enough room to where they have enough range to maybe knock down a ball. I don't think Colabello is going to be going on contact, so this is just in hopes that Navarro hits a ground ball close enough to get the ground ball and get him out.
A 2-ball, 1-strike count. Ana Navarro trying to pick up an RBI. His chances have been few and far between, as we mentioned earlier. Ground ball foul outside of first base. Navarro's got 5 runs batted in, but only 50 at bats. To compare that with the regulars who are up there around 260, 270 at bats. 2-ball, 2-strike count. So far, a night where not much has gone right for the Orioles. 2-2 delivery on the way, and way out in front of that one. So now Wilson would like to get a strikeout.
Now the Orioles knew they were going to be tested up to this series against the Blue Jays, but both teams playing well, so both teams very confident. But Orioles relying on a couple young pitchers trying to get them through this Blue Jays offense.
2-2 delivery, that'll score the run. Harris going back, and he will make the catch. Unavailable tag up. Navarro gets the RBI. 5-0 Jays. Credit Navarro. That's his job, and he did it.
That's what it's all about. Picking that run up. No outs on the board. Colabello over at third base after the throwing error. The ball you can handle. To fight through the at-bat to finally get one, but executed it. Blue Jays put another run on the board.
Kevin Pillar be flied out his first time up. Pillar will take the pitch up high for a ball. Tyler Wilson for the Orioles. Going to take this team through the middle and keep the score where it is. Check swing. Did he go? Yep. Dave Morales down to first base.
Good slider here from Wilson. Pilar a little over anxious. See the bat head going out in front. He wanted to check too.
1-1 delivery to him. No check on that one. And a 1-ball 2-strike count from Tyler Wilson. Right-hander who's 25 years old. 5th professional season. Chopper that'll go foul. Both Bowie and Norfolk last year, where he combined for a 14-8 record, an ERA of 3.65 in those games. He ended up pitching 166 innings last season. Kind of waiting on that breaking ball, bloops it into the Bermuda Triangle. He's got a base hit. He's got a try for 2. Parmalee didn't realize it. Parmalee did not realize he was rounding first and nonchalantly played the hop, and it ends up being a double for Pilar.
This is the kind of stuff Kevin Pilar brings to the table. Talked about him early, breaking up double plays, playing the game hard, crashing into walls. Well, here he bloops a ball, and the extra bounce, he takes advantage of it. You saw the hesitation. Parmalee looks at first. Well, Pilar is thinking about a double all the way. And hustling out of there, and as soon as the ball hits, he does not even hesitate.
So 1 away, runner at second base, and that will be fouled back. Goins going after it. He drew a walk, scored in the second inning. That's hit number 5 for Toronto. They've got 5 runs on 5 hits in the ball game. Goins now looking for a base hit. Bring in another one. Hardy trying to hold the runner a bit. 0-1 delivery on the way. That's a strike at the knees on the outside corner.
I don't think Pilar would have done that on a grass field. So knowing his home field, knowing it's going to get the extra bounce, roof's open, so the turf's going to be a little bit spongier. Ball's going to have some spring when it hits. You recognize that. Gets on a second.
Another foul. Goins hitting at .244 in these situations. This first of 3 against Toronto. It has been all about the Orioles getting nothing going. Parmalee has committed an error in the inning that set up the Colabello run and has that one played a little too slowly and ends up a double. And there goes the runner to third. Ground ball down to first. Davis able to get it. That one almost got underneath his glove. Pilar had a lot of room, so he just took off. Goins retired on the ground ball to Davis.
Take a look at Pilar. He's getting some momentum. He bounces off there, and if you don't stop him, he's going to be going. He does. Nice play by Davis down at first base. Catches the lip and stays down. Snuck by him. Good glove work. Orioles first baseman.
Toronto got 2 runs in the first inning after they were 2 down. Now they're bidding for another. Runner on at third base. Reyes at the top of the order. He's had a base hit. Shattered bat. Played by Flaherty, and he gets him. As that bat ended up all the way down beyond the coach's box at first base. A run in, a couple of hits, an error, 1 left on. 5-0 Jays.
in road games. Now, we've talked about the success the Orioles have had at home, but the road woes continue. Walks per game at 2.45. That's the lowest since 2005. Runs per game, 3.45 on the road. That's the lowest since 1988. Now they're averaging over 5 runs per game at home. Batting average 234. Lowest since 1972. And the on-base percentage at 291. Lowest since 1968. They have yet to pick up the offense on the road. They're hoping it turns around here in this inning.
They are 12-19. The Orioles are on the road, while they're 22-13 at home. Matt Wieters leads it off. He will take the pitch down low. Wieters, Hardy, Flaherty. Wieters has grounded out, the only at bat he's had. They swing the infield around a little bit, play him to pull. 1-0 pitch on the way. Matt will go the other way. Reyes, because he got the arm to do it. Yep. Pretty good positioning on that one. 1 down. Next Saturday, June 27, when the Orioles take on the Indians, the first 25,000 fans 15 and over get the Buck Showalter Garden Gnome. Don't miss this unique keepsake. It's going to become an instant collector's item for Birdland fans everywhere. For tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. J.J. Hardy. Feel that night air coming in?
Yeah, you can feel
the
you cool breeze.
Down into the low 50s tonight here in Toronto. 64 degrees when we started. It was cool today. Beautiful. Sun was hot and the air was cool. Yep. And the roof's open, so you can feel that breeze coming in as it's sunset time. CN Tower out there. 1-1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball that will miss. J.J. Hardy flied out center field, first time up.
Breaking ball a lot in this ball game. Pretty nice 12-6er right there. Sharp break on the end.
Over the top of the fastball that time. He's just trying to get through 5 innings so he can give himself a chance to be the winner, because it's been a struggle for him trying to throw strikes. 2-2 delivery by Estrada. Hardy will go to short. Off the carpet, Reyes, a big hop. 2 down. Here's our PNC minor league report.
Oliver Drake had a shot here in the major leagues and pitched very well for the Orioles. And you always wonder how a player is going to respond when they get sent down. Well, he's responding the right way. Last 15 games, just giving up 7 hits, no runs, 23 punch outs, and opponents hitting 132. So expect to see Oliver Drake back in an Orioles uniform soon.
2 down. Ryan Flaherty. Ryan drew a walk his first time up. 4th inning. 5-5-0 for Toronto. 0-0-1 for the Orioles. And that one will be fouled away by Ryan. 1 ball, 1 strike count. 80 pitches thrown by Estrada in this his 9th start and 15th appearance of the year. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Flaherty will take it at the knees for a strike. He's thrown 100 pitches in each of his last 4 games. 101, 106 twice, and 100 in his last start against Miami. Pitch, Flaherty fooled. 1-2-3 inning. That's the first one Estrada's had. He's got 5 strikeouts, protecting the Toronto 5-0 lead.
Rogers Center, bases loaded, one out. Mike Wright getting another shot at Batista. The drama builds. Ball one, ball two. Batista's going to let it go. No, not even close. 3-0 count, 4 straight pitches walking Batista. 4 walks in that second inning, 5 walks total. The Orioles pitchers, Blue Jays have that 5-0 lead here going into the bottom of the 4th.
2 bases loaded walks helping the offense. Orioles put the shift on. Josh Donaldson, a walk and a strikeout. And the pitch will be taken inside. Tyler Wilson on the mound for the Orioles. And again, here's that middle of that order. Bautista, Encarnacion waiting. Out in front of it. In the air to left center field. Steve Pearce puts it away. So Donaldson retired, 1 away in the 4th inning.
Nice breaking ball. See what Tyler Wilson's all about. Nice mix of pitches. Seem to be intimidating. You see 59% fastballs, 34% breaking balls. That big curve he just threw to Donaldson, 79 miles an hour to get him out in front. Also has the hard slider to go along with it.
Infield stays shifted. Bautista will take it for a ball. Hit by a pitch in the 1st inning and scored. Drew a walk with the bases loaded in the 2nd inning. Like showed you, got the RBI on it. And we'll take the fastball up high. So Bautista now with 44 runs batted in. Donaldson leads the ball club in RBIs with 46. 2-0 delivery. 3-0.
One thing about Batista, he may be one of the most hated players, at least for Orioles fans, but very patient at the plate. The high on base percentage.
He didn't even get ready to hit on that one. Just stood there and waited. 3-ball, 1 strike count. Adam Jones DHing, watching. 3-1 delivery on the way to him, and he's got another walk. 6 walks by Oriole pitches. Bautista's got 2 of them.
Still talking.
So Bautista's on with 1 away here in the 4th inning. They just can't stop this. Delman Young, he's got a Bautista event. Adam Jones behind him. And on he goes. Here's Encarnacion. Check swing. That is in there for a strike. Bautista, of course, tried to throw Delman Young out at first base on a hit to right field. That initiated a discussion.
Oh, yeah.
And hurt Bautista's arm.
Still feeling his effects.
Yeah. He still can't throw very well. That was fouled off. And a 2-strike count.
Sometimes the emotions of the game, if you get go overboard with your emotions, cause some problems. Bautista hurts himself. He missed some playing time with the shoulder and hasn't thrown well since.
0-2. Tyler Wilson's delivery to him, and that's going to be up high. Smoke waiting on deck. 5-0 lead for the Jays here in game 1. Bautista being held by Davis. Infield swing around to pull. Ground ball right up there where Flaherty's playing. There's that backhand shot. Hardy trying and didn't get it. An almost impossible throw. J.J. Hardy. He had Bautista coming in on him, and he's got that crazy angle trying to pivot.
Yeah, real nice play here by Ryan Flaherty. He's showing his range. Makes the play on the shortstop side. Tough flip. Hardy, nice concentration, but he knows Batista's coming in to get a piece of him. Has to step back. A lot of shortstop might do the pirouette and do the 360 and get a little bit on the throw. But Batista coming in as hard as he was coming. I had to keep an eye on him right in front. Almost turned the double play anyway.
Smoke has had a double and an RBI and has hit into a double play. 2 down, runner on at first base. Justin Smoke, the switch hitter, will take the first pitch, and it is in there for a strike. Another power bat added to this Toronto lineup. So they needed more, but that's how they win. They win on their offense. A lot of it with the home runs. And that's what he was going for right there.
They're pretty happy with the way Smoke's been playing. They love his defense at first base. The fact that he's hitting .265, I think, is huge for this team as well. They talked to him in spring training. They brought him over for his power bat and said, listen, you've got to get up there, swing the bat hard, hit the home runs. We don't care what you hit. Well, high on base percentage and the batting average high as it's been in a long time for Smoke.
Yeah, he's well above his career averages, just .224 at the major league level. And here he's hitting .265. That is well above. Only 28 years old. Here's the pitch on the way. Just missed outside. Trying for that outside corner. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Justin Smoke now the full shift employed by the Orioles infield. Flaherty way out there and right. Tyler Wilson 2-2. Smoke takes it inside.
Moving all over the place, cutting the fastball. Some of the off-speed pitches, trying to get a swing.
Just counting up. Toronto's had 13 base runners so far in this game. 3-2 delivery, runner going with 2 down, ground ball towards the shift. Hardy's going to get it. He'll make the play over to Davis. That will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Toronto leading at 5-0. First of 3 here in Toronto, and the Jays jumping out to the big lead. The Orioles still don't have a hit. Orioles will bat here in the 5th inning. Steve Pearce will be leading it off. He has popped out low. Then Manny Machado at the top of the order. Estrada needs to get through the inning to give himself a chance to be the winning pitcher. The Orioles have won 8 in a row here in their home ballpark, which is the longest win streak at home since 2007 for the Jays. They've won the last 2 games overall. Estrada's delivered to Pearce, and he'll chop it foul. We certainly send along our condolences. All of us at Masson and the Orioles. R.A. Dickey placed on the bereavement list. His dad passed away on Tuesday night. Dickey still pitched, knowing that, and he wanted to, I'm sure, in memory of his father, and ended up throwing 7 1/3 innings of 1-run baseball. And now has gone home for the services.
Pretty amazing stuff. what a person can do under those kind of conditions.
Good off-speed pitch and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. And I saw he hung in after the game, gave his press conference, talked to the press about the ball game and about his dad. 2-2 delivery and a swing and a miss. That's 6 strikeouts for Estrada. 1 away.
Another good changeup. Here to Steve Pearce, 78 miles an hour. He saw the circle change grip in the glove. And executes it perfectly down and away.
Season high for Estrada in strikeouts is 8. Came against Houston. Career high is 12 against Cincinnati in 2012. That off-speed pitch has just got the Orioles all over the place because he's throwing it at no particular time and effectively 0-1.
You have confidence in that pitch. He's got a great feel for it right now. It doesn't matter when. Start a hitter off, finish him off with the change. Any time in between.
As the great jazz song says, I'll meet you in no particular place at no particular time. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. 89 and a 1-ball, 2-strike count on David Lowe. Lowe popped out his first time up.
So you tell yourself, you step in the box, got to stay back, throw the off-speed pitches, good change up, and then that 89-mile-an-hour fastball, especially at the top of the zone, looks about like 95.
1-2 delivery. Two-ball, 2-strike count. Orioles just trying to get the goose eggs off the board here in the 5th inning. Estrada's delivery. That ball in the air, center field. Lars there. And he's got it. 2 down. Attention, O's fans. Masson wants you to upgrade your fan cave. Show us how you're backing the Birds while the team's on the road by tagging your tweets using hashtag #OzCouchCam to be automatically entered to win autographed memorabilia. Follow at Masson Orioles on Twitter for more information. Manny Machado. He has drawn a walk, and Manny has grounded out. Estrada struck out 6, walked 4. That's why that pitch count is up there. Ground ball to third. Play made by Donaldson. The Orioles have retired 1, 2, 3. That's 9 in a row. Set down by Estrada. Aside this moment in history. Major League Baseball took a long time, but finally 1846 now recognized first baseball game between the New York Knickerbockers and the New York 9 A game organized by Alexander Cartwright. And then Lou Gehrig, born weighing nearly 14 pounds, 1903, in Manhattan's East Harlem neighborhood. He was the Iron Horse at the end. He was the Iron Horse at the beginning.
I'll say 14 pounds. Are you kidding me?
Yankees went to the hospital and said, "Want to play first base?" Oh my. Colabello up. 8-game hit streak for him now, a double. Picked up his last at bat. He's also drawn a walk. Tyler Wilson came on in the 2nd inning, so he's starting his 3rd inning of full relief. He got 2 outs in that 2nd. 0-2 count. Colabello, Navarro, and Pilar are due up. Here again is another one of those games. We talked about it with Estrada having won 3 in a row because his team was scoring so many runs, and here they're doing it again.
Yeah, a lot of support. He feels comfortable right now with the 5-0 lead.
That's 36 runs in the last 4 games, counting this one. That should be a base hit. Manny throws it away. Going down to second, they get a shot at Emil Flaherty, a one-hopper, Manning time. I'm guessing a single and an error.
Pretty nice effort here from Manny Machado. These do-or-die plays. Playing back the chopper. Kind of dies after the 2nd hop. A beautiful bare-hand attempt, but just up the line. Chris Davis, he can't take himself into Colabello. He's got to be on the inside of the field. No chance for Davis to make a play. Colabello recognizing it early enough to make it into second base.
So a single and an error on Manny Machado, his 10th of the year. Orioles have now committed 2 errors in the ballgame. Navarro gets another RBI chance. He came through with a sacrifice fly in his last at bat. He's also flied out. That's hit number 6 for Toronto. He's got a chance at a 2 RBI game. 1-0 pitch on the way. That'll be taken inside. We've seen about as many 2-0 counts in this ball game as we've seen in any game all year on both sides.
Yeah, well, you know, the Blue Jays are going to be patient. They're feeling very confident offensively, and the Orioles as well. They knew that their game plan was going to be get on base, hit the long ball.
That's to center field. That's really deep. Going back, warning track, and hauled in by Loeb. Runner will tag up and move over to third base. Boy, was that hit hard. Deepest part of the ballpark. 1 down.
Morrow gets on it. David Lowe in a little bit closer than usual. Right off the bat, he says, I got to get on my horse. He gets turned around. Able to keep the concentration. See him shift gears. Making a fine play just onto the warning track.
So Pilar will get the RBI opportunity with the infield playing at halfway. Runner at third base, Colabello. Pilar is .290 in these situations on the year. He has doubled and flied out in the ball game. And the pitch will be taken away. One 0 count, 1 down. Anything to get the run in gets it done. Pilar waiting on it. Another 2-0 count. See, the Orioles have only had 2 chances. They're 0 for 2. Jays are just 1 for 6. 2 bases loaded walks, of course, accounting for 2 of their runs. 3-0.
Wilson falling behind a little bit. 57 quick pitches thrown for him. A surprise attack as Mike Wright, early exit, making out of the second inning. Wilson on.
There'll be a green light. 3-0. There was.
Wilson throw in this ball game. It's going to make it pretty interesting to see what the Orioles' moves are again over the weekend. We need some pitching help. And Gosman throwing in tomorrow's ball game. I think Mike or Tyler Wilson is the guy that's going to back him up.
This one is not that deep. Parmelee's got an arm. Runner's going to try. Here's the throw by Parmelee all the way through, and he is out. Missed the plate, I think, the first time going by. Matt Wieters kept at him, and it ends up being a double play as Parmelee throws out Colabello at the plate. I'm waiting to see if they're going to challenge here. DeMarlo Hale's coming out. He went around him, and wow.
Nice play by Wieters.
That's one way to get to the plate.
DeMarlo's going to talk about it a little bit. Matt Wieters with a nice pick.
He's waiting for his video crew to tell him whether or not they want to review this or not. And I guess the answer is no. So that'll end the inning. It's 5-0 Toronto. .135 game. Get the Orioles cap presented by DAP. Don't miss this annual fan favorite. Enjoy a summer afternoon at Oriole Park. For tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848. Strange ball game in the sense of all the walks we've had. Manager thrown out. Gibbons in the first inning after his own Bautista got hit by a pitch and went to first. And now the Jays didn't take the field forever between innings. I don't know why. I mean, they didn't challenge and they stayed in the dugout. And home plate umpire C.B. Buckner had to go over to the dugout and tell the players to get out on the field. One of the problems may have been the clock started running while they were waiting for DeMarlo Hale to make a decision on whether they were going to challenge or not.
Right. Yeah, I think that was it.
Now we're down to 10 seconds. And apparently Estrada's warmed up enough. Said, no, I don't need any more. Let's go. And the Orioles don't have a hit here in the 6th inning. And Estrada's, I don't know what he's doing. He's getting outs. That's what he's doing. I mean, he's walked 4, struck out 6. He has now retired 9 in a row since a leadoff walk in the 3rd inning to Manny Machado.
And there really hasn't been many balls hit hard in this ball game from the Orioles offense. So Estrada doing a nice job keeping this offense off balance, moving his fastball around. The changeups come up big, the curveball as well.
Parmelee has struck out twice against him, and it's been the off-speed stuff that Parmelee has been fooled by. A 1-ball 2-strike count. Parmelee, Jones, and Davis due up for the Orioles in the 6th inning. Right-hander's delivery in the air, right field. Bautista in place. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Great to have you with us on this Friday night. Obviously a very important series affecting the standings in the American League East. Toronto coming in 2 games behind Tampa Bay. The Yankees are 1 game out. Toronto's 2. The Orioles are 3. And the Red Sox are 9. Adam Jones, he has drawn a walk, struck out. Designated hitter for the Orioles. 0 for 4 lifetime off Estrada. 1-0 delivered. Adam in the air. That's to Bautista. Again, hardly moves. 2 down. And he's reached the 100 pitch count. We could have a pitcher throwing a no-hitter taken out of the ball.
Yeah. Earliest pitcher throwing a no-hitter of the game, but 100 pitches thrown to this point. See the fastball 62%. And that changeup 24% of the time has come up big. He's starting to start hitters off with the change and even finish hitters off with the change.
Davis has walked and struck out. Chris will go after it. Over the top pitch, pretty good one. They've got Bo Schultz up in the bullpen. I mean, obviously Estrada is at his pitch count level, and probably this will be it. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Oof. There again, the off-speed pitch. Chris shaking his head. The count goes to 0-2.
Not afraid to throw it. Great feel for the pitch. Always has.
Ground ball to first. Smoke. I'm sure the fans are going to give him a great hand, knowing he probably won't be back. Retiring at 12 in a row. Estrada continues to hold the Orioles hitless, and the Jays have the lead. Achiever in you, and by Chesapeake Employers Insurance, a workers' compensation insurance company. With Mike Gordick, I'm Gary Thorne. Sunset time here in Toronto, where Estrada continues to hold the Orioles down to nothing, and 5 runs, 6 hits for the Jays. Jays putting up their runs, 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and another in the third. Bases loaded walks, 2 of them in the second inning. RBI double by Smoke and Encarnacion in the first. That ball will go to the gap. Diving, can't get it cleared. Brian Goings is on, and a leadoff single here in the 6th inning off Tyler Wilson.
Continues to swing the bat well against the Orioles this season. And that hole up the middle, effort by Flaherty, can't come down with it.
Wilson has given up 4 hits, 1 run. He has worked 3 2/3 innings so far. So he's trying to take the brunt of the load here After Mike Wright, the Orioles starter, gave up 4 runs, 3 hits in an inning and a third. He struck out 1 and walked 4. Top of the order, Reyes, single and a run scored, 1 for 3. He's grounded out, flied up. Fouls that one back for an 0-1 count. Reyes, since coming off the DL on May 25, has hit over 300 in his at-bats. Really adding some punch at the top of the order. Reyes will take the pitch away.
He's always been an igniter at the top of a lineup. Great speed. Slowed down a little bit over the years. Hamstring problems in his career.
One ball, 1 strike delivery to him. Reyes chops it to first. Davis, great stop. There's one Hardy, and no. Getting over to cover was Wilson. Couldn't hold the bag. Reyes with the speed gets down there in time to get the force up.
Nice try by Wilson. Good play by Chris Davis. Bounce off, holding the runner on, but then goes down to a knee, and he has to get it up over the head. Nice play. Accurate throw, and then Wilson covering. Reyes' speed, able to beat it out.
So 1 down, 1 on. And here comes the punch of that order again. Donaldson 0 for 2, and he has drawn a walk. Infield shifted around. Reyes at first, and Donaldson will foul it off. Tyler Wilson again. He had the longest relief outing. Last time out he went 3 1/3, so he's going to best that here in this ball game. And again, he's a true long man out of the bullpen for the Orioles in his last 2 starts, last 2 relief appearances. Here's the 0-1 to Donaldson. Got fooled on it. Didn't get a good cut at it. 0-2.
Yeah, and these are the type of situations that Buck Showalter seems to always be prepared for. If something happens to a starting pitcher early in a game and gets knocked out, who's he going to pass the ball to next? We have Wilson in mind.
That one will go to right. Runner halfway. Marley makes the catch. Reyes will go back to the bag. Donaldson retired. 2 up.
And the impact here that Wilson is having is a positive one, saving the arms in the Orioles bullpen. If they can't come back in this game, it's so important to still be at full strength out there. You get a good start from Kevin Gausman, still one of the better bullpens in the game. Try to shut it down over the weekend, rest of the weekend.
Gausman goes against Burley tomorrow. 12:30 O's extra. 1 o'clock the game. Chris Tillman, Scott Copeland Sunday on Masson at WJZ. Bautista. He's been involved in the ball game even though he's not had an official at bat. He got hit by a pitch in the first inning and scored. He picked up an RBI on a bases loaded walk in the second and then drew another walk in the 4th inning. 0-1 count with 2 down. Way out in front.
Nice pitch. Slider up in the zone, looking good, but great late movement.
Bautista's 114th game against the Orioles. 0-2 delivery, and got him. Good job by Wilson. He's out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on, 6 complete here in Toronto with the Jays leading.
Bautista, first at bat of the ball game. Mike Wright trying to establish that inside corner, catches the jersey. Bautista, the stare back, then has some words with Matt Wieters. C.B. Buckner talking to John Gibbons. You hit my guy. Why are you throwing me out of the ball game? He's going to go have a Miller Lite. And then Bautista out there talking to the Orioles dugout like always, saying he doesn't want to hear it. Don't talk to me.
Carrera's come on. Ezequiel Carrera will play in left field. Colabello out of the ball game. Don't know if that's injury related. And a swing and a miss by Matt Wieters. And yes, Estrada's back out there at 104 pitches.
He's been impressive.
Wieters has grounded out twice in the game. And Matt will swing through that one. They've had warm-up action last inning, and now again Roberto Osuna this time. First time up for him. Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way. Ground ball to short. Reyes. The outs continue soft. One down, seventh inning.
And so Colabello out of the ballgame in left field. It's a defensive move, and here with the no-hitter going, not bolster your defense a little bit.
One away. J.J. Hardy, 11-game hit streak on the line. He has flied out, grounded out. Flaherty waiting on deck. Pitch will be down low for a ball. Estrada's high pitch got 106 twice. 2 games ago and 3 games ago. 0-1 delivery. Hardy will take it. That's a strike in the outside corner. 1-1.
Well, it took him a little while to get comfortable back into the starting rotation after spending so much time into the bullpen, but the last few starts he's been getting stretched out, and you can tell he is ready to go as a starter. Seems like great command of all of his pitches. As the pitch count mounts, still continues to be aggressive in the zone.
That changeup has been something to watch here. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way. Hardy will lift it in the air to center. Pilar's there. 2 down, 7th inning. Join Orioles Reach in support of Shannon's Fund, helping families, patients, University of Maryland Medical Center. Special fundraiser before the Friday, June 26 game. $50 get you a game ticket, access to the exclusive pregame event beginning at 5. Player appearance, batting practice viewing, a gift, drink vouchers, and more. For tickets, Orioles.com/Shannon's Fund.
You see Estrada's pitches per start, 97.6. Season high 106. Pitches mounting. 11 now for Estrada.
Well, Gibbons has been thrown out of the ball game, the manager, but he's still going to make the decision regarding Estrada. 0-1 delivery on the way. If Orioles get a hit, that'll make it easy. If it doesn't, if the Orioles don't get a hit, then you got a real issue.
Well, I don't know that the Blue Jays have an issue. One of their issues is making sure their rotation stays healthy. So I got to believe this will be the last batter, last inning for sure.
0-2 center field. Pilar's going to be there. Mercy. Orioles have not had a base runner since the 3rd inning. Estrada leaves with the Orioles having nothing. Gausman on the mound against Mike Burley. Coverage on Masson begins at 12:30. O's Extra presented by Jeep, followed by game coverage at 1 on Masson and WJZ. All the access you need right here on Masson.
Kevin Gausman, he is ready to go. Win already on the season. Shoulder feels good. Had a spot start, Frederick. And he's ready to get it going for the Orioles in tomorrow's start. Mark Burley, another good season with 7 wins. He's already defeated the Orioles a couple times this season.
Tyler Wilson staying on. This will be the 5th inning that he has started. He got the final 2 outs in the 2nd. And the pitch will be taken inside. Edwin Encarnacion, he's had an RBI double, an RBI bases loaded walk, and he is hit into a fielder's choice. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way off the end of the bat and foul. Good crowd on hand tonight. 32,322. 32,322. The announced attendance on Friday night in Toronto. Estrada's over there like he's going to come back out.
Yeah.
That's going to go to third. Base hit. Encarnacion leads it off with a single. Bottom half of the 7th inning. One of the reasons the Orioles have this particular alignment of pitches, they did not want to throw a left-hander against this team, and here's the reason why. They're 11-4 against left-handed starters, and look at the averages that they have against left-handers. As a team, they have the best average against left-handers in the majors.
Pretty amazing numbers there. Colabello, Donaldson's raking everybody, but Valencia, he's known for his damage against lefties. Russell Martin has picked it up and really doing a number as well against lefties.
That's why Wei-Yin Chen is not scheduled to pitch here. Just do not want to have a lefty going against them because of those numbers. Here is Justin Smoke. He's had an RBI double, 1 for 3, 8 hits now for Toronto in the game. 5 of those have been off Tyler Wilson, but he's worked the majority of the game since Mike Wright only lasted an inning and a third as the starter. All right, Encarnacion at first. Infield shifted over, double play depth. Delivery to Smoke, goes the other way. Manny Machado, 1 relay, double play.
Nice turn by the Orioles defense. The shift on. Machado responsible for the whole left side. Going to play like a shortstop, and then Hardy turning it like the second baseman. Seen them do this a couple times in the past few ball games. Nice turn.
2 down. Ezekiel Carrera will get his first at bat. Pretty good night. Colabello had a single, double, scored a run, and drew a walk. He's a big part of the offense tonight. Broken back ground ball to third base. Manny Machado was in, comes right to him, and he gets the out. Only 3 faced, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. Will Estrada, who's pitching a no-hitter, come back out when we come back?
Encarnacion, he gets things going for the Blue Jays, splitting Pearson low. Batista able to score. Encarnacion the double. Estrada has been shutting down the Orioles offense. Adam Jones going down on the fastball there. Big breaking ball. Hit Ryan Flaherty. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
He's back. Estrada's on the mound throwing a no-hitter. Paredes is going to come up and be the pinch hitter for Pierce. Paredes was going to start as the DH till Adam Jones realized he couldn't go to the outfield with that shoulder bothering him. So pinch hitter Jimmy Paredes. We're in the 8th inning. Jimmy Paredes will wait on it and take the pitch for a strike. Estrada's retired 15 Orioles in a row. The last base runner was a walk to Manny Machado starting in the 3rd inning. He then struck the side out. 0-1 pitch on the way, and then it'll be foul back.
Early on, Estrada was being kind of careful with this Orioles offense. He had 2 walks in the 1st, walk in the 2nd, walk in the 3rd. But he settled in. He's pitching very well. See 115 pitches thrown to this point.
His best outing, or fewest hits, was 3 in a 5-inning performance against Houston. Here he is working in the 8th inning. 0-2 delivery on the way. Paredes will take it. It'll be down low.
I think a lot of times when you see pitchers that throw no hitters or 1-hitters or 2-hitters, they're in perfect sync, and the catcher knows what works and what doesn't. Navarro, the veteran backstop.
Paredes goes out to left field. It's a broken bat, and there's the first Orioles hit. So Jimmy Paredes comes on for the Orioles here in the 8th inning, and the fans will give a great hand to Estrada. John Gibbons thrown out 1st inning, comes out to get him. Paredes comes on to pinch hit, shatters the bat, goes to left. Herrera in left field, unable to get there, falls in, and that hit takes the starter out of the game.
Well, pretty impressive performance by Marco Estrada in this ball game. No hitting the Orioles for going into the 8th inning before that Paredes single. A nice line there. 7+ innings, just 1 hit, 4 walks early on. Some trouble, but 118 pitches thrown, staying true to form with his pitch arsenal as well. And now Roberto Osuna, youngest pitcher in Blue Jays history, just 20 years old. Fastball 68% of the time. It's a good one, 93 to 98. Has a slider and change to go along with it. Pretty good numbers on the year for the 20-year-old. 2.05 earned run average, 32 punch outs. He is a fly ball pitcher, 70% of his outs in the air, holding opponents down to just 168.
So he'll go to work with the runner on at first base. Ball put up in the air by Lowe down the line and left, and that'll be in the seats. Osuna, just his fourth year of professional baseball, coming off Tommy John surgery. So he made just 8 starts last season, coming off the injury. And now Osuna pitching at the major league level. He's born in Cuba, resides in Mexico, pitched in the Mexican League at the age of 15. Swung on and missed. So nobody's ever going to know how many pitches he's really thrown at the professional level. And then was picked up, signed by the Jays. 0-2 count. David Lowe waiting on a heater, foul back. He is popped out and flied out.
They really love Osuna's poise on the mound, such a young age, and obviously a great repertoire of pitches. He can command all of his pitches very well. Learned a lot pitching in that Mexican League. And trying to tone him back a little bit. Only 22 innings thrown last year. Worried that his pitch count, or the inning count, might get up a little too high, so they're trying to slow him down. Going to need him at the end as well if they want to make a run. Some young arms that they're concerned about innings. Sanchez, who just went on the disabled list with that lat strain, are worried about his innings as the season goes along as well.
1-2 delivery on the way. Lowe takes it and he's gone. So Osuna comes on and strikes out the first batter faced.
Take a look at the fastball after working all 4 pitches up in the zone. Dots one down and away at 96. Lock David Lowe up.
1 away. Paredes remains on at first base. Top of the order, Manny Machado. Machado, a walk, 0 for 2 officially, and a couple of ground ball outs. Osuna's delivery, that's there for a strike. Osuna's got 33 strikeouts now in 31 innings. And following up on Estrada, his fastball's got to look like it's going about 900 miles an hour.
Yeah, 97 there. Pretty easy delivery as well.
0-1 delivery on the way. Check swing. And the count goes to 0-2 on the 96 mile an hour pitch. I don't think Estrada hit. He may have hit 90, but not very often. His fastball was 89 miles an hour.
Yeah, he was working 88, 89 most of the game. Might have touched 90 once or twice.
0-2 count, 1 down. And Osuna will bounce it. Runner will go down to second base. So Paredes takes second on the wild pitch. The Orioles get a runner in scoring position. First inning with 2 down, they had 2 walks. Third inning, a walk to Manny Machado. He ended up at second base stranded. And those are the only 2 situations where the Orioles have had a runner to second base in the ball game. They've not had a runner to third. 1-2 delivery on the way, and that's going to go to right field. That will fall in, base hit. Good deke made by Bautista, holding the runner up. So stopping at third base, Paredes, and the Orioles have their second hit. So Manny Machado gets the base hit.
Nice piece of hitting there by Manny. Falling behind, you expand the zone a little bit. Drops one out in front of Bautista.
So the Orioles a chance here. They're only down 5-0. It is the 8th inning, however. Farmerly coming up. He'll put that one into the gap. That's going to be a base hit. Runner's going to try for third. Here's the throw, and it's off the mark. Good throw would have had Machado, but it wasn't. Guerrero put that one way up in the air. So Parmelee delivers an RBI base hit, and the Orioles do get that goose egg off the board. It's 5-1.
There you go. Finally some smiles in the Orioles dugout. Put a run on the board. Good piece of hitting. Change up down in the zone. Stays on it. I mean, they're not really not going to cover off the baseball at all. But finding some turf in the outfield.
Brady's the pinch hitter who got the first hit for the Orioles. Also scores the first run. That's the 4th RBI for Parmelee. Now the Orioles are close to getting the potential tying run to the plate, and with this home run power against a fastball pitcher, Orioles can be back in this thing in a hurry. Jones 0 for 2 and a walk, DHing in the game. Adam will take the fastball inside. Runners on at first and third. Osuna's had his problems of late, allowing that'll be the 6th earned run in the last 7 1/3 innings work. 1-0 count on Jones. Another one that misses. Adam will take a walk here if he can get it. Chris Davis coming up.
I don't know what's going on there. A couple fastballs well in off the plate.
There's Steve Delabar in the bullpen. 2-0 delivery. Not close. Count goes to 3-0. How quickly it changes. 15 in a row have been retired. Orioles didn't have a hit. Hunter up. Orioles get a single. Then after one away, 2 more singles. And a 3-0 count here. Adam will take all the way. It is a strike. Osuna proving yet again at this level you can throw 1,000 miles an hour, but you better have something else. Runners off first and third. Jones waiting, the 3-1 delivery to him, and that hitting. And Osuna's going to be thrown out. Remember, we're playing under a warning here.
Absolutely. He wanted to hit him on the first 2 pitches. There's no doubt.
So he's tossed out of the ball game. Not that he wouldn't have been out anyway. Marlo Hale, who's managing in place of Gibbons, comes out. The Orioles have loaded the bases and are right back in this ball game.
It's a futile argument there. Osuna knew what he was doing. And this is something that was probably set up after the first inning after Batista got brushed back. 2 pitches knocked Adam Jones off the plate. Barrow setting up in, pitching him right on the elbow.
So Adam Jones hit by a pitch.
Buckner not wasting any time.
The intensity of this continues. Now DeMarlo Hale gets thrown out too. Since he's the manager of the ball club, the pitcher and manager are both thrown out after there's been a warning. And it's violated, as is the case here. So we're going to go down to number 3 in the managerial line for Toronto for the rest of this game.
DeMarlo's going to get his money's worth now. And, I'll tell you what, OJ this is risky business here. You want to hit Adam Jones where you load the bases, and Chris Davis on deck.
Yeah, this ball game all of a sudden is open for grabs.
Yeah.
That's Dale Scott, the crew chief, who's in there talking along with C.B. Buckner, the home plate umpire. This is automatic. It's not, the manager gets thrown out automatically once the pitcher's thrown out after the warning. Probably Louis Rivera will take over as manager. I'm not sure, the third base coach. But what matters here for the Orioles is that they have loaded him up. Delabar had been warming up in the bullpen. He's just waiting, I think, for the call, but there's no question Osuna is out of there.
Yeah, DeMarlo Hale's arguing about why are you throwing him out? You can't throw him out of the ball game. Well, the warning was issued in the first inning when Batista's jersey got grazed by an inside fastball. Osuna was coming after Adam Jones. 3 pitches, missed the first 2, with a fastball away, and then got him on the last pitch.
So Toronto's lost their manager and their bench coach, and the Orioles have got a chance to tie this ball game up. Base coach, and now Delabar will come out of the bullpen.
Delabar, who was down in the minor leagues, straightening his delivery out, back with a vengeance. Here's a look at his arsenal. Fastball 63%, breaking ball 18%, the change 19%, good fastball 92 to 95, hard slider, and the split finger is the change. 2-0 record, 1.20 earned run average in his 15 games, 18 punch-outs, 15 innings of work. Opponents down to a 104 batting average. The righties at 125 and the lefties .083. Pretty good arm from Delabar.
The Orioles have seen a lot of Delabar over the years, and this guy has hit him hard. Against Delabar, Davis is 3 for 8 with 2 home runs, and he comes in with the bases loaded and a run in. Machado's at third base, Parmalee's on at second, and Jones hit by a pitch at first. The Orioles did not have a hit prior to this inning. 15 in a row had been retired. Paredes, a pinch hitter, delivered a single. He would score on the RBI by Parmalee on a single, and now they're loaded. And here's Davis, and there's only 1 out. The infield will shift. They've got to stay for double play, though. And the pitch is away for a ball. There's the shift. So right field's open. And they keep Reyes on the little bit on the shortstop side of the bag.
Yeah, Davis wants to beat the shift with a home run over the shift.
Ground ball down to first base. It is a fair ball. They got to go to the bag. Play will be made by Smoke, unassisted. And the Orioles get another run. So credit an RBI to Chris Davis. That'll bring home Manny Machado from third base and will put 2 more in scoring position. It's now a 5-2 ball game.
Waking the Orioles back up. Good to see them making a push here at the end of the ball game. This bullpen that's been so good for the Blue Jays, they're able to get to after Estrada leaves the game.
Wieters 1 for 6 off Delabar. Base hit here, and it's a 1-run game. Wieters held down to an 0 for 3. 3 ground ball outs in the ball game. Delabar with a 1-0 delivery, and that one's blocked. Good play by Navarro on a bouncer. Toronto has stranded 7. The Orioles have stranded 4 so far. They've got 2 more on here in the 8th inning with 2 down. Talked about Toronto. Toronto's .295 average coming in, scoring position, 2 outs, number 1 in the league. The Orioles third coming into the ball game in those situations at .275. 2-0 delivery. Wieters takes it and the count goes 3-0. J.J. Hardy waiting on deck. Orioles trying to load him up again.
Very nice. Matt Wieters not in the rush right here. The open base. Delbar getting close to the zone right now.
And he walked him. So the Orioles, for the second time in the inning, have loaded the bases. And J.J. Hardy, one of their hotter hitters, he is going to be coming to the plate. Osuna worked a third of an inning. He gave up 2 hits, had a strikeout. He's responsible for 2 of the 3 on base. And here's Hardy. 0 for 3. J.J. will take it. It is down low for a ball. Final line on Estrada ends up being 1 run on 1 hit in 7+ innings. He's over there wondering what is going on. 1-0 count.
Taking it away from him.
Yeah. Strike call to Hardy. Hardy's 1 for 4 off Delabar. 4 grand slams in his career. The Orioles trail by 3. 1-1 delivery. That's in the dirt. Stop made by Navarro.
Going to that split finger. Absolutely no command with that pitch. He's spiked about 3 of them already. Finds himself behind again.
Hardy 1 for 2 with the bases loaded this year. 2 ball 1 strike delivery to him. Hardy puts it up in the air. It's in the yard, but who's going to get it? Reyes back, and he will make the catch. But the Orioles come alive here in the 8th inning. They send 8 to the plate. They get a couple of runs and make it a 5-2 ball game. Hunter on. For live baseball. At bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, radio broadcasts, replay reviews, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet. Orioles starter Mike Wright, who gave up 4 runs, 3 hits, and an inning and a third, back on the bench. See how this one ends up.
I'd like to see a few more runs. I mean, this could be an exciting finish. Tommy Hunter into the ball game. 67% fastballs. Power fastball, power breaking ball as well. The hard slider. 26 games. That earned run average continues to come down. A 1.82 earned run average over his last 21 outings. So Tommy Hunter on top of his game. Opponent's average 262 overall. Even distribution in ground ball, fly ball outs.
Brady stays in the ball game after pinch hitting and breaking up the no-hitter. He'll play in left field. And we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Tommy Hunter will face Diana Navarro. Pilar and Goins are due up. Navarro had a big RBI, 3rd inning on a sac fly. Officially 0 for 2, a couple of fly ball outs. Real good job by Tyler Wilson. 5 2/3 innings in relief. 1 run, 5 hits with 2 walks and a strikeout.
Yeah, pretty amazing effort by Tyler Wilson. Called on so early in the ball game, and that is really a nice effort.
That ball deep to center field, low going back. Again, we'll get there. He can cover ground. Navarro's hit the ball hard tonight. 1 down.
Nice play by David Lowe, showing his range in the outfield. Much more playing time here recently.
Hunter gets the first out, and will face Pilar. Pilar's had a double. Get into a double play on a 9-2 play from Parmalee in right field, and he's flied out another time to right field. 1 down, 8th inning, nobody on. Bunting. Hunter. Ooh. Parmalee's showing the arm, so Pilar's going to go right back to the bag. No angle on that to get it to Chris Davis.
Yeah, really, Tommy doing the only thing he could do, and kind of just aim at the back of the runner. That nice bunt took Tommy right into the baseline. Chris Davis completely screened out. See the good bunt, taking it down the line, and when Tommy fields it, the momentum takes him across foul territory, and he's just trying to fire it. I think trying to aim for Pilar, but Chris Davis, no sign of it. C.B. Buckner.
I gotta believe this is about was the runner within the base running box or not.
Well, that's what you do when you're a pitcher if you have no chance, and then you hope an umpire might call him out of that box running down the first baseline.
Fans, of course, riled up for everything that's happened, so they're making a lot of noise. And Buck Showalter doing this just to rev it up a little. Let's take a look.
Pilar, the good bunt. He is on the infield. He is way out of the box.
Yep, he did not stay in the running box.
Yeah, he should have been whistled for that one.
However, that is not a challengeable play. Goins up, runner on at first base. You know, the runner really wants to add another run here, seeing what the Orioles did in that last inning. Goins is 0 for 3 off Tommy Hunter. Hunter's 4th appearance against the Jays this year. And the pitch there for a strike. Tommy has worked 2 1/3 in the other games against Toronto. A run on 2 hits, a walk, a strikeout against the Jays. Goins, number 9 hitter. Reyes waiting on deck. 1 down. Runner goes. Throw down Waiters. And the tag, and he is out. So Matt Waiters will get Pilar trying to steal a base. And for Matt, the first opportunity he's had to get somebody out. He's now 1 for 3 in that department.
A good pitch to handle, the high fastball. Throw goes up the line. Look at the play by J.J. Hardy. One quick step takes him up, able to handle the ball, and then still slap the tag on the backside of Pilar. Great play by Hardy. Nice job by Matt Wieters getting it down there.
Goings will go after it and pop it up left field. Paredes. He's got it. So that's it. Here in the 8th, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on. The Orioles will try and get back in the 9th. Mazda do-ups, Flaherty, Paredes, and Lowe. Masson brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Gary Thorne, Mike Bordick here in Toronto. An interesting ball game, ninth inning. Jays lead by 3.
Brett Cecil now into the ball game. He is the closer at this point for the Blue Jays. Fastball 56% of the time. Breaking ball, it's a good curveball. Hard, sharp, down action 37% of the time. And the change 7%. He's been in 24 games. Has 4 saves on the year. 24 punch outs in his 21 innings of work. Sitting 221 overall. The righties way down to 172, but the lefties to 368 off Cecil. Ground ball pitcher, 56% of the outs on the ground.
So the Orioles will see what they can do with it here in the ninth inning. And Nolan Reimold is going to come on as a pinch hitter for Ryan Flaherty to lead it off here in the ninth inning. Get the lefty-righty matchup against Cecil. Cecil 4 for 6 in saves. And that will be taken for a strike. Reimold is 4 for 13 lifetime off Cecil. Throw it back a little bit on it. Orioles with a 2-run, 3-hit 8th inning to get themselves back in the ball game. Delbar worked 2/3 of an inning and a walk. 0-2 delivered to Reimold. That'll be up high.
Brett Cecil, very slow start at the beginning of this year because he had some shoulder inflammation in spring training, and it took him a while to recover from that, but feeling much better. Much better feel for the ball.
Down to third. Fair ball. Stop. Donaldson. One hopper. He's safe. Tremendous effort by Josh Donaldson, but for the Orioles, a big leadoff single here in the ninth inning for Nolan Reimold.
Nolan, nice piece of hitting, smokes it down the line, but look at the defensive effort by Donaldson. Beautiful play from the knees, but Reimold's speed. But keep it going for the Orioles here. Take a look. Great camera view here. Quite an athletic play by the third baseman. So not only trying to make a push for MVP because of his bat, but showing the defensive skills as well.
The Orioles, 1 on, nobody out. Paredes second at bat, singled as a pinch hitter. 8th inning, broke up the no-hitter. Now gets a shot from the other side of the plate. Jimmy Paredes, who was supposed to start this ball game as a DH, did not when Adam Jones found he could not play center because of the shoulder. So Jones DH and Paredes set until that pinch hit appearance in the 8th inning. One ball, 1 strike count from Cecil. Reimold off first. And Paredes, foul tip. Our Alexis Satowson drive of the game.
It is Jimmy Paredes. Estrada with the no-hitter. He goes after the high fastball. Broken bat. See Reyes going after it. Drops in front of Carrera, and there goes the no-no. The Orioles threaten, putting 2 on the board. Here he is again.
Drive of the game brought to you by Lexus Satowson, the area's #1 volume Lexus dealer. 5 years running. See why. LexusAtTowson.com. 1-2 delivery on the way. It'll be up and away. 2 ball, 2 strike count. The most interesting ball game. Toronto 5-9-0. The Orioles 2-4-2. Each team's left 7 on base. And a swing and another foul ball off the bat of Paredes. Delman Young has come out into the on-deck circle. Paredes against the left-handers. Putting up some numbers. 349. That's down low. Cecil almost throwing that one in the dirt and by his catcher Navarro. And the count's 3-2.
Really likes that breaking ball. Good arm, full repertoire. We've seen good fastball, good velocity, 94, 95 at times. Has a cut fastball. That big curve, the pitch he loves.
3 ball, 2 strike count. Runner off first base. Fouled off. And Paredes at 3 balls and 2 strikes has gone 6 for 30 off left-handers. He's worked it up to the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Infield shifted over, looking for 2. Ground ball down to third base. Donaldson again, second one. Relay to first, will not be in time.
Pretty good battle there between Paredes and Cecil. Cecil going with the breaking ball again. Paredes hit the ground ball. Too slow during the double play. Able to get 1 out on the board.
Delman Young will be the pinch hitter for Lowe again to get the right-handed bat in against Cecil. 2 for 13 lifetime off this left-hander. Goes in the air, center field. Pilar in. 2 down. So the Orioles with 1 out to work with here in the 9th inning, trailing by 3. Manny Machado at the top of the order coming up. He is 0 for 6 off Cecil. Estrada looking for the win would be 5 and 3. Wright would take the loss. He would be 2 and 3. Cecil would pick up his 5th save if it stays this way. Machado fouls that one back. Toronto after their 9th consecutive win at home and their 3rd overall. There is Estrada. He went 7 innings with no hit ball. 1 ball, 1 strike count of Machado. Not holding the runner at first. Runner will go. Ground ball down to third. Will be fouled. Paredes will make his way back. Smoke had moved behind him, so he had a big jump.
Keep yourself out of that force. If they're not going to hold you, you're not walking out on second base.
1 ball, 2 strike count. For the timeout. 1-2 delivery again. Ball in the air. That should fall. It's a base hit. Paredes will make the turn and stay. Can't chance it. The Orioles are alive. Manny Machado 2-hit ball game. 2 for 4, and the Orioles are going to get the potential tying run to the plate here in the 9th inning with 2 down.
The Orioles hotter hitters. Parmalee up.
Chris Parmalee with power. RBI base hit in the 8th inning. He is 1 for 4 in the ball game. And will face the left-hander, but you saw Cecil has had his problems with left-handers. Orioles get their 5th hit of the game, all coming in the 8th and 9th innings.
It took them a little while to get the offense going, but it's nice to see they have some good fight left in them in this ball game.
Little breaking ball. Had him out in front of it, couldn't hold up in the check swing. Chris Parmalee will take the strike. 0-1 on Parmalee. First half of the game, or 3/4 of it, dominated by Toronto. The last 2 innings, Orioles. Parmalee takes it outside. One ball, one strike count. Two down, top of the 9th. Cecil and Navarro trying to get on the same page here. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. Whoa. That hit him. They're loaded. Parmalee goes down, got caught. It looked like on the hand of the wrist. They're not going to throw Cecil out, saying that was not intentional. But it loads the bases.
Parmalee looking down at that hand. I thought it might have caught him on the shoulder. Take a look from the overhead. It's on the backside of the hand. Down he goes. A fastball riding up and in, and there you see it. Got him in 2 places.
What a ball game. This thing is just a story unto itself. So Parmalee hit on the hand. He'll stay in the ball game.
This is kind of how you wanted it to play out, right? Adam Jones.
Yeah. Here's Adam Jones, the designated hitter. Bases are loaded. He's 0 for 2. Is hit by a pitch. Drawn a walk. Sacks full in the 9th. 2 down. Fouled off. Travis Snyder's the only bench position player besides the backup catcher Caleb Joseph left for the Orioles. He broke his bat on that one. Jones has seen a ton of Cecil. 5 for 27. And there are the base runners for the Orioles, led by Paredes, fielder's choice, single, Machado second. Parmalee hit by a pitch at first. The Orioles trying to get it tied up in the 9th, at least tied up in the 9th inning. Schultz will get up because of the number of pitches being thrown here by Brett Cecil. Jones will take it down low. Orioles will get their closer ready, Zach Britton. He would come on if the Orioles get a lead or tie.
Gotta get that breaking ball up. Cecil loves the curve. He's spiking them. Left one up and over the plate.
Delivery to Adam Jones off the fist. No play.
The bat goes down. There should be fastball in there.
A 1-ball, 2-strike count. 2 down. Bases loaded. Adam has hit .372 off left-handers this year. He's been among the top 10 in that department all season long. He is 3rd in the league right now. 1-2 delivery. Jones will take it. 2-2.
Well, if you wanted one hitter up in this type of situation, it's Adam Jones. Incredible numbers here at the Rogers Center. Talked about the monster numbers. 13 home runs.
2-2 delivery. Jones is going to get a base hit into right field. That's going to score at least 2. Throw will come into the plate, cut off, and the Orioles get a runner to 3rd as well. It is a 1-run ball game. A 5-4 game as Adam Jones delivers a 2 RBI single here in the 9th inning, with Paredes and Machado scoring, and the potential tying run goes to 3rd.
Well, you got to love the never give up. Great at bats here in the 9th inning. Adam Jones, 3 bats went down in this at bat, but a clutch single with the bases loaded. You see the lumber flying all over the place. Picking up the clutch knock. With the Orioles within 1 now. Paredes able to score. Bobby Dickerson sending Manny in easily.
Jones with RBIs 34 and 35. And the Orioles now with a potential tying run. Parmalee was hit by a pitch down at third base. With 2 down and Chris Davis coming up in a scenario you would not have dreamed possible until the 8th inning. First and third, shift is on, 2 away. Cecil's delivery, that almost hit him. And another thing to keep in mind, Deanna Navarro has dropped a ton of baseballs in this game.
Oh yes, he has.
He's having a real hard time hanging on to baseballs. A wild pitch would not be, or a pass ball, out of the question in this situation. 1-0 pitch on the way. Davis will take it up high, and it's 2-0.
And I don't know, falling behind here if he's going to throw that breaking ball, but he has been spiking the curve, his favorite pitch.
Davis is 2 for 14 off this left-hander. 2-0 delivery on the way. Davis will foul it away. 90 feet away is the most improbable tying run. Parmalee hit by a pitch as the Orioles mounting this 2-out rally. Parmalee's getting a big lead at third. Bobby Dickerson walking him off, and the pitch is going to be away. 3-1. Matt Wieters on deck. Three, 1-2 down. Runners off first and third. Davis, a ground ball foul. Of course it's full. How could it not be in this game? Two down. Cecil's delivered to Davis. Swung on and foul tipped.
Finally goes to the breaking ball. 3-2. And Davis doing what he can to keep the at bat alive. Great pitch from Cecil. A good finish and just enough of it.
Three, 2 again. And a swing and a miss. Got to throw it down. Navarro better get it down. And this game's over. So the Orioles put up 2 in the 8th and 2 in the 9th, but it will be 1 short as they lose at 5-4. Orioles are now 10 and 11 in 1-run ball games. For Toronto, they're 7 and 14 in 1-run games. And game 1 of this important 3-game set goes to the Blue Jays.